1, 2, 3, go. Welcome back to the... What's this show called again?
That looks really loud on the thing.
Maybe it is. No, that's all right.
Sorry for
the Young Crumbs
blurring
podcast.
your ears.
That was a little harmonica to ease
That sounds pretty good.
ease you
Have you
into.
been doing that recently?
No, that was just me ad-libbing, mate.
Was it actually?
Yeah, just feeling
Can I have a
it.
go?
Just really feeling the music, you know?
Is that really weird? If I
you gotta
we're gonna touch lips now.
put your lips where I put my lips, but that's okay.
Oh, that's not hard at all.
Nah,
It's easy.
it's very...
Who am I kidding?
I've said it for years, Sean. The harmonica is a very beautiful instrument that really touches my soul.
I hope it touched our viewers' souls.
I don't. Tell
Why
whose
not?
soul I wish it didn't touch.
Who's?
Sarah's. Fuck Sarah.
Yeah, fuck Sarah.
Thank you very much for coming this week.
That's it. I think that's the whole episode wrapped up. I think that's all we had to... So what we should do, we should write down on this piece of paper, just fuck Sarah, like as our topic, and we'll take a photo of that, and that could be our weekly upload.
That's our post.
Anyways, after.
I thought it was going to be my shitty mustache.
Oh, that can be in it as well.
Do you want to get right onto that?
Yeah.
We've scrapped the intro, by the way. That's our new intro. We're just going to do something like that every
I like
week.
the little ad lib. That's cool. Yeah.
Welcome back to the...
No singing.
Oh, no.
Singing.
Okay.
Shitty facial hair. Yeah, what's going on?
I don't think it's that bad, to be honest.
No, I don't think it's that bad. You're the one who wrote shitty facial hair here, so you know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look very long.
Look,
it's a bit patchy.
Hey, look, it's getting there, okay? This is only like 3 weeks out. I'm trying to grow a mustache. How do you say it?
I say moustache, but I know
Moustache.
that's too... It should just be moustache. Moustache?
No.
Moustache.
I say mousse.
Moustache.
Moustache. So I'm trying to grow a mustache.
Moustache.
I'm trying to grow a mustache.
A moustache.
It's going well so far. I think it just needs to grow in a little bit. The long hairs at the top need to come down to the bottom.
Uh-huh.
And so it needs to kind of overlap and look all thick and bushy and nice. But I think so far it's
Bushy.
gone all right. I might post this week's post might be some progress pics.
They spell moustache. Oh, there it is.
M-O-U. That's why I say mousse, like M-O-U-S.
Let's hear. Oh no, that's not what I wanted.
Sean's getting on the Google and
How does it say it out loud?
he's asking her to pronounce moustache.
Never mind.
You have to translate it. Translate it from another language to English.
English.
Yeah, maybe. But what, to do that, you need to know moustache
No,
in another language.
it doesn't let me do it.
Okay, never mind.
Anyways.
Maybe I'll edit it in.
Moustache.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
You're not going to do that.
I'm not doing that.
Don't
I
be
got
silly.
to get to the gym.
Oh, you got to get to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you were asleep when I got here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let's go back onto your shitty moustache. Yeah.
Where were you before you got here? Not here.
Yeah.
So
I was tired, man. I
was
worked.
back onto the shitty moustache.
Yes.
I
I think it looks all right.
after growing one out, I used to look down on people. I'm ashamed of the way I used to think.
Oh, wow.
Like
I used to look down on people with moustaches.
No. With like people that really couldn't grow facial hair,
What?
but were like,
Oh, but we'll try.
but we're trying, and just like, man, it doesn't look very good.
Yeah,
But
okay.
now that I'm trying, all I can hope is that people respect my efforts. And so I've done a complete 180.
There's no respect here at all. No, I'm kidding.
I've done a complete 180 on what I think of people
I just keep
trying to
looking
grow
at
facial
your
hair.
moustache. I think it looks all right. See, with mine,
Does
mine's
it-
like blonde, so you can't see it. But mine grows, doesn't grow underneath my nose. It grows to the sides.
Yeah, I
So
have
it
that
looks
problem
like,
a little bit.
It looks like, yeah, but see, normal people have it like a little bit closer. Mine just has a big wide gap between it. So it looks like I'm a Mexican man. That's what it looks like.
Like a blonde Mexican.
Yeah, but my hair's a blonde, so it doesn't really matter. But
Yeah, okay. That bang in the background was me shutting my window because there were some cockatoos outside.
damn, those cockatoos, man. Those bin chooks. All right.
I've been saying it for years, Sean. Those pesky
Don't.
cockatoos.
You haven't been saying that. Marvel announcements.
Oh,
Can you fill me in and the viewers
Okay.
in? Because I didn't see it. Are
okay. Well,
you pulling up your phone? Okay.
yeah, because there's so many. I can't. I've
Really? How did I miss these?
One of those things.
I saw there was a whole bunch of Star Wars like TV shows coming out.
I know of two.
I know. I
know
think
of some.
of two.
All right, let me.
But
let
I
me
didn't
give it a
see
Google.
any of the Marvel ones.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well, there's lots. So get ready.
lots.
So what happened was over the weekend, Disney, big company Disney, you know, with all the princesses, they had an investors meeting.
Uh-huh.
So basically, like, they get together and basically, like,
Show what's happening.
show what's happening over the next probably 3 or 4 years for their investors, because that's how big companies work.
Yeah.
And I need to search up Marvel upcoming properties just because.
So that's how all these like announcements got made.
Basically,
I swear there was already some announcements a little while ago where they announced like a new Thor and a new like this and that. I swear that came out a little while ago, or am I crazy?
that came out maybe like 4 years ago.
4 years ago? No,
Nah.
It was after Endgame where they sort of said some
they
things.
kind of said some movies that are going to be coming out.
Yeah, and some TV shows.
Yeah. That did happen. And that was like... So, if you don't know, the Marvel movies are set up into 4 phases, or now 4 phases, but it was 3 phases.
Uh-huh.
So, it's phase 1, which is like all the first original movies and ended with the first Avengers.
Uh-huh.
And then phase 2 was kind of like that middle lot of movies, and in the middle of that was Avengers Age of Ultron.
Uh-huh.
And then phase 3 ended with Endgame.
No, ended with Spider-Man.
Technically.
Come on now, mate. I've hit the nail on the head
Hey,
here.
look. All right, give me a
Yeah,
break.
it
give me
ended
a
up
break.
with the second Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Far From Home.
Yeah.
How hard is it to look this up?
Okay, here's some.
All right, we good? All right, hang
Yeah,
on.
ready?
Mm.
Some of these don't have a lot of details because they're coming out in like 3 years. But they're definitive, all right? They're coming out. First of all, Black Widow. It was meant to come out early.
Yeah, there was a trailer already
It
released.
was meant to come out halfway through this year, but because of COVID, it kept getting pushed back. It's now coming out May 7th of 2021.
Cool.
Okay, so
Cool.
we already knew about that. That's okay. Next thing. This has been known for about a while, but this is a dude called Shang-Chi. He's kind of like a kung fu master.
Cool. Kung Fu Master.
Bit of magicalness involved with that, but Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is coming out in July 2021.
Cool.
Okay? Then we have The Eternals.
Yeah, I remember that one.
All right? I don't really know too much
don't know
about The
much about
Eternals.
those, but-
okay, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Then we have an untitled Spider-Man.
Okay, so the third
Okay?
Spider-Man.
Third Spider-Man movie
And
with
yeah, we'll talk about that later.
We'll come
talk
back
about
to that,
that because that one's pretty big.
big casting news in that
Yes,
one. So
yes.
it kind of hints as to what that's going to be about.
I'm so excited for that. Anyways,
I'm very
yep,
curious.
Continue.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Cool.
That's been known about for a while.
Do you reckon that's got to do with the next Spider-Man? A little bit?
Maybe. Yeah, I think
Yeah?
some of these will tie in because they're all in the same universe anyway.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them will tie in. Now, Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I remember that was sort of released. Not announced a little while ago, yeah.
Same director as the previous one, which is Taika Waititi. He's a very funny man.
Titties.
But basically, I think the gist of this one is that Natalie Portman, the girlfriend in the previous Thor movies, is kind of going to step up into a Thor role.
Yeah, isn't she
So she's
becoming
gonna-
someone?
I think she's going to become like
like a Thor.
Thor,
Yeah.
basically. Like she's going to get his powers.
Interesting.
Black Panther 2.
Cool. Oh, wait,
Now-
hang on.
Now, Chadwick Boseman's sadly passed away. However, they're going to just...
Isn't it the girl?
They're not recasting him. They're just writing him out of the story.
Yeah, makes sense.
So they're probably going to... My assumption is that he has a girlfriend in the first Black Panther who
Yeah.
was like an activist and kind of
Yeah.
like getting herself into trouble trying to help people.
Yeah.
And so she might step into that role.
I thought it was the sister.
Shukri,
Yeah, which is the sister.
which is the sister.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Because she appears in like the Endgame final battle and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, she had some.
she's got, like,
she got
panther
some
fists
fancy
and stuff like that.
stuff going on.
Next, Captain Marvel 2, starring our favorite cheese, Alison Brie.
Favorite cheese.
Favorite cheese.
What's that movie? Larson. Something Larson.
Something Larson.
Something Larson.
Now we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3,
Cool.
which is expected.
Uh-huh.
Great franchise. James Gunn, the one who was fired,
Isn't he directing?
he's directing. So they just
Beautiful.
get him back.
Yeah.
It was all a publicity stunt anyway.
That was silly that they did that.
That was. We've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania.
That'd be the third one, right?
That's the third Ant-Man and the Wasp. They're doing more quantum realm stuff, which is kind of what they use to get around in Endgame to time travel. So that's going to be a bit funky.
A lot of these are going to be confusing as. You know what I mean?
It's going to step up in confusion.
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic Four.
Yep.
They're doing another reboot.
They're redoing it.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. We've got.
Or is it going to be the same as like that? Remember that one that came out ages ago that no one liked?
No.
Did you see that movie?
No, I never saw it.
Oh,
which
it
is
was
surprising.
bad. It was really bad. Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to write this down. I saw a really bad movie the other day. I want to talk about it. But
Okay.
we'll talk about it later.
Then we have Blade. Now,
Is that the one-
People might half be familiar with Blade. He's a vampire hunter.
Yeah, he's a vampire hunter.
Yeah.
Does that mean there's vampires in the Marvel?
Yeah.
Far out,
Yeah.
man. This is getting complicated.
So they're going to introduce vampires into the Marvel Universe.
Cool.
Now, apart from... These are just the movies.
Oh, my. There's more? Okay.
These are the definitive movies. Now, Disney Plus, the streaming service, they're doing a lot of Disney Plus exclusive stuff. Now, they're already doing this stuff. There is a series that's about to come out in January called WandaVision,
Yep.
which is the Scarlet Witch and the Vision, and it's kind of like this sitcom vibe show.
Would that have anything to do with the
strange.
whole universe? 'Cause they're both dead, aren't they? Oh, no, wait, she's not dead.
She's not dead.
He's dead.
So
though.
I think the concept of that show is that she is very upset since he died,
and then
and
she's like making up
because
a world or something.
she's powered by I think the Mind Stone, but she's able to like manipulate reality, which is why that's where her powers come from.
Her parents.
Her parents come.
Yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah. I get
That's
it.
where her powers come
that's
from.
why,
And
okay.
so she's going to basically create like a fake reality in her head with all this stuff going on.
Isn't there a new X-Men as well?
Well, I don't think so.
Don't think
I don't
so?
think anything's been confirmed as of
okay.
yet. But we also have Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
That's right. Yep.
right? It's like a buddy cop,
Yeah.
you know, like
That'd be cool.
action thriller type thing that's coming out. These are TV series as well, by the way.
Yeah.
We're onto TV series. We then also have Loki coming out.
I saw a trailer for that,
Yeah. So there's a trailer that just came out.
and it's got to do with in Endgame how he teleported away with the thing, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, funny little thing. Don't know
Please.
if anyone cares about this, but
I do because
you
I'm
know,
really curious how it's going to work.
I make up about 50% of this podcast.
Yes.
So I'm gonna use this time.
I'd argue for 49, but yeah.
Basically, Loki in Endgame, they jump back in time to the first Avengers movie, and at the end of the first Avengers movie, he escapes with the Space Stone when it gets knocked out of the briefcase. All right?
Yes.
That Loki is a different Loki to the one
The one that's dead.
The one we know, that's dead and sacrificed himself,
Yeah.
basically. Okay, so he never really went on that. He never had that story arc. So Loki in this version of this TV series
Is still like
is
evil.
still like evil Loki,
Cool.
and mischievous Loki. He hasn't really had his moment to come back and
Yeah, like redeem
himself basically.
Yeah.
So
Because he redeems himself like twice, I swear. Doesn't happen in the second Thor movie.
He's a pretty dodgy character.
And then it happens again in the third Thor movie as well. Remember how he almost tried to like escape, but then
Yeah.
Thor like buzzed him or something?
Yeah.
Anyways.
He tries to betray Thor again.
Yeah, again.
But then he ends up helping them escape
Yeah.
Asgard.
So then it's just like, and then he dies.
He's alright. He means well.
Yeah, he means well. Not in that TV series.
No.
So how does it work as in like, is it just like set 2012
So-
Avengers, he has the Space Stone and it's like start again, basically?
Well, I don't...
Don't know.
It's a bit blurry.
Yeah.
But, so he basically gets the Space Stone. He teleports out of there. And he lands... He seems to land in a different era or different time. Okay? But he attracts the attention of an organization called, I think, the TVA, which are the Time Variance Authority. So these are like policemen of space in the Marvel comics, okay?
Oh, okay, so this is a real... Yeah, okay.
That basically control or like lock up people that affect time travel. And they
Wouldn't
time
all
travel.
the Avengers be locked up?
Maybe. But they saved the time travel.
Yeah,
you
come
know?
on, guys.
You know?
There's
Whereas
good intentions.
Loki's running around, he's jaunting around, being a bit of a nuisance.
Stop being a dick,
So he gets arrested by them, or it seems he becomes an agent for them or something.
Okay.
And so he basically, this series is set at a bunch of different times within Earth's history, right?
Cool.
And it's basically filling in like real life gaps
Yeah.
using Loki as like a fictional placeholder kind of thing. So like he's going to be affecting a bunch of different like world events that lead to our current world, as if to say like Loki's been a part of this the whole time. A
Cool.
really cool example. I don't know if you want to know this. Do you know who BD Cooper is, or DB Cooper?
Sounds familiar.
I think I might have talked about him before on the podcast, but I think in this 70s. I'm gonna say 70s. There was this dude. This is a real life story, by the way.
Mm.
There was this dude.
This
that
isn't a
hopped on
TV show?
No,
Okay.
no. But in the
I know.
in Loki, Loki plays this character as to explain the mystery.
Okay. Oh, this is about the guy who jumps out of the plane.
Jumps out of the plane.
Yeah.
You know that guy?
Yeah.
So
He jumps. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're interested, look up BD Cooper or DB Cooper.
There was a really good documentary on YouTube. Is that where you saw it? I don't know if you saw it.
I've listened to a podcast about it.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, this dude, he's a single guy. He gets on a plane. He's like cool as a cucumber. He's dressed extremely handsomely. He's a good-looking dude, very smooth talker. Starts talking to the hostess on a plane. It's like, I've got a bomb. Can you get the captain? He's very calm about the whole thing. Sipping wine the whole time. He's like, you're going to land. Everyone's going to get off except you and the air hostesses. Otherwise, I'm going to blow it up. You're going to give me like hundreds and thousands in cash. And
then
we're going to take off again.
Take off.
And then we take off again. And then in the middle of a storm, while they're flying at night, he jumps out the back of the plane, is never seen again.
Yeah.
There were no traces of a dead body ever found. There were like just nothing. He just disappeared. Like this dude managed to hijack a plane and just disappeared.
I'm pretty sure there was...
And they make it so he's DB Cooper, Loki.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm pretty sure from that story, from what I saw, there was like a few years later, they found money in one of the rivers that was nearby.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit. Whether he came back and threw the money away or something. But anyways, that's a really interesting story. But is there any other TV shows or is that it?
Oh, heaps.
Oh, is there more?
Guardians of the Galaxy
TV show?
is getting a Christmas special.
Oh, God.
In about 2 years' time before Christmas.
That's funny.
Okay. We've also got She-Hulk.
Okay.
We've also got Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel?
Ms. Marvel is like... Do you know the Avengers video game?
I do know
Do you know much of it?
Mm-mm.
You play a girl, a character that has like a bunch of different powers.
Is that her?
She's Pakistani. That's Miss Marvel.
Okay.
So just
It's got nothing to do with
Captain Marvel.
No, nothing at all. Just
completely
Ms.
different.
Marvel.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ms. Marvel. So she's like a young character that like
Cool.
comes onto a bunch of powers. Cool stuff.
Cool.
What else is there?
Is that it?
WandaVision.
Well, I can tell you the Star
She-Hulk.
Wars ones because I remember
Okay,
those.
you rattle about Star Wars one. I'll
Okay.
look up the TV because I think I'm
So-
missing some.
We've got. I'm pretty sure there's. If you watch the final season of the Clone Wars,
Yep.
there were these 5 like squads of clones called the Bad Batch.
Yep.
Now they're getting their separate spin-off, and it's about
That's cool.
that's about straight after like Order 66 and stuff, and because they're like not normal clones, they like survive and stuff. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It was like a pretty cool trailer.
Okay.
Actually, that's the only one I can sort of remember. To be honest, there were some other ones.
There's Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka's getting her own spin-off.
Ahsoka's getting her own live action spin-off.
Mm.
With she appeared in the like one of the latest Mandalorian
episodes. Yeah.
If you haven't watched Mandalorian, you need to get on it. It's a pretty good show.
I think it's okay.
I think it's consistently. I think there are some episodes that are really good, and then
There's some stinky episodes
there are
in there,
some
but
there are some slow episodes.
they take the same formula almost. It's very frequent. If you're really interested in like the universe of Star Wars, you'd still watch it because it's like whatever he does is interesting. Like it's something that's never really explored in the movies. Just like the small little like trader stuff. It's really interesting like that.
Yeah.
But like on a more of a small scale thing. But it's very repetitive in the terms of like, oh, we need to go here. Oh, I can't. My ship needs repairing, and they're like, "Well, I'll repair it if you help me do this." Okay, and then it just goes from there.
It's a bit like a video game.
Yeah,
It's
but
like-
more recent episodes, it's been getting really good because it's finally getting some consequences involved, and it's a bit more interesting
Yeah.
rather than just this random grand scheme of, oh, we need to find the baby's people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's good. It's decent.
So a few other we're also getting a Kenobi.
Oh yeah. So did you see Theo's coming back as Darth Vader?
Hayden Christensen,
which is sick. Which is
is cool.
I did really
Very
like him
cool.
as Anakin or Darth
Anakin,
Vader.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really interesting. The thing is with a lot of these TV shows is like a TV show can go on for ages, and then when you set it in this universe, they can only go on for. And for something that's already been set out, the consequences can't be that big. You know what I mean?
You can only fill so many gaps.
Yeah,
type of
exactly.
thing.
Like
Well,
with The Mandalorian, you got Baby Yoda, and it's like, if that thing grows up, it would have been very helpful in the movies that came out
Yeah.
that are set 50 years ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't really have a big consequence to the overall movies that we're watching.
I think the direction they're heading in well, especially with Mandalorian, is because you don't really see any of those characters ever again.
Yeah.
Like Osaka should come up in like at least the first, like she would
least one
be
of the
kind
movies.
of kind of old age when the first of the new trilogy came out.
Yeah, I have
it's
a feeling
it's weird to just kind of like not mention this person.
I feel like what's going to happen is because Yoda himself, like the previous Yoda, not the baby
Yoda,
one,
yeah.
is super old. So I feel like what's going to happen is like they're going to find his people or whatever. They're going to go away, and then maybe in like I guess the next series of movies, he might come up, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's Baby Yoda. He's now older Yoda." You know what I mean?
Well, Baby Yoda is 50 years old.
Yeah,
Currently.
I'm pretty sure Yoda from the prequels is like 300.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
though.
there's a good chance that like,
he might sort of come up
by even the time of the new trilogy rolling around, which is set, I think, like 60 years after the last
the new
of
which
the
one? Sorry?
original. So the new trilogy
Oh, the next three
is set.
Yeah,
Like
it was
7, 8, and 9 are set. I think about 60.
I think it's
years
about 60. Yeah,
after.
after
Oh,
Return
actually,
of the
no,
Jedi.
it won't be 60 years because Leia is only like 40 years older
Maybe it's between
or
there.
30 years older. Maybe
She might
30,
she might be
40
set a
years
bit
later.
older. Mm.
So that Baby Yoda might have only been like a young teenager and not very useful or strong.
Yeah, so like I feel like they're just going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, he's away on this distant planet and
Yeah.
he's learning his abilities in the meantime, kind of thing.
I did hear that Anakin's appearance in Kenobi was mostly flashbacks.
It probably
And
will be.
so they'll be filming things for flashbacks, which is kind of interesting.
Which is cool. If they explore their relationship a bit more, it'd be really interesting.
Yeah. I feel so bad about Hayden Christensen's
He
like,
copped a bit of flack.
career.
Yeah. A lot of people were like,
Because he's a decent actor.
I saw one thing was really funny was like the Lad Bible shared like, I don't know if you saw this, the Lad Bible shared like this like report or something, and they're like, Star Wars fans are really upset that Hayden Christensen's returning, and then like literally all the comments are like, no we're not.
No, we're not.
No one ever said that.
upset.
Literally no one's upset. Like not one person's upset about this. But yeah, it'll be mostly be flashbacks.
Yeah.
But it's just again, even with that show, it's like, what are they going to explore?
Work in your head.
Kenobi was sort of chilling in the desert for like 50 years.
Yeah, well, at least
I
we
mean,
think. We don't,
I don't know.
We
Maybe
don't really know.
I mean, in Rebels, the show, another Star Wars show,
Yeah.
he kills Darth Maul comes back and he goes to kill Kenobi and then he kills Darth Maul.
Yeah.
But then again, it doesn't really have a consequence to the whole sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think what it would be is they'll kind of set up a story with him as a character that's never really in danger. But
It's like, Kenobi's not going to die. Luke Skywalker's not going to die.
But you'll introduce characters that he has to kind of like
deal with,
fight for, and deal
It'd
with.
be interesting
that you develop like a likeness for, and it'll be its own kind of enclosed story that doesn't affect the greater.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
greater
exactly
scheme.
what happened with like the Clone Wars. We sort of know how it's all going to turn out, but you still care about the characters and how everything sort of worked out.
Well, the thing like Mandalorian, even though it's set just after Episode 6.
7, 6, 6.
Just
the Return of the
after
Jedi. It was
Episode
like
6,
after that. Yeah.
So you do have a fair bit of room there to explore the rise of the New Empire.
Yeah.
What are they called?
The New Republic.
No. New Republic's the good guys.
Yeah, they're the good guys now.
No, but then the bad guys in 7, 8, and 9. What do they call themselves?
Oh, the New Order.
New Order. So
Yeah.
you can like explore.
That's for like a little while away.
the New
but yeah.
Order. It's like 40 years.
Yeah, well, it's a long
So,
time.
Well, it already starts. Like recently in the episodes, they were like the Empire's returned, like officially. Like Jango Fett says it.
Oh,
Or
I don't remember.
Boba Fett says it.
Boba. Yeah,
What did
Django's dead, bro.
Jango's dead.
Yeah, Boba.
Sorry,
Oh, by
Boba.
the way, spoilers if you haven't watched it.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, same thing. One of my favorite Star Wars movies is Rogue One. And
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
I loved how it sort of tied straight into Episode 4.
Yeah.
Oh, like, because it's like
like
it's getting the
directly-
plans.
directly
Because like you
there.
can see those things that happen in the movies where it's sort of like
Yeah.
they don't have time to explain it. They're like, oh, we got these plans from someone, and it's
Yeah.
like they explored that
Yeah.
really well.
They
It's like this is really cool.
The only explanation is in the opening credit scroll.
It's like brave soldiers
yeah.
got us the plans. That's pretty much what happened.
It's like,
and it's really cool how
after
it's like,
after
sick.
stolen plans for the Death Star fall into Republic hands. or
Yeah,
something,
yeah. It was
So
cool.
Marvel properties again. Back
More.
to those. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got What If.
What's that?
So it's an animated series
Okay.
starring the voices of the real characters. So like
What?
like Robert Downey Jr. will be coming back as Iron Man, but just voicing his animated character.
Yeah.
And it's basically asking the question of like, what if? Like, what if this happened instead of this happened?
That's cool.
So what if?
What if they
Guardians of the
lost-
Galaxy?
Yeah.
What if they picked up a Wakandan child instead
okay.
of an American child?
Oh,
and,
okay.
and that became Star Lord,
Yeah, okay.
kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Like, what if like the nuking Avengers actually went off,
Blew up,
and like
started
killed all...
started a zombie apocalypse.
Actually, that's probably bad because it's like killed everyone.
There is a zombie apocalypse in one of these episodes.
Oh, cool. So it'd be like a.
So it'd just
It'd be like a couple episodes sort of exploring it, kind of thing.
So
That's
they just
cool.
explore this foreign concept.
Yeah.
It's all animated to save money, I'm guessing.
Yeah, of course.
But it's still voiced by all the
I wonder how the
people.
voicing's going to be alright. Like,
Yeah.
because they're not voice actors. They're anyway. So it'd be
they're regular
interesting.
actors.
There's a lot of TV shows far out.
Also, you might have seen a lot of pictures for it. Hawkeye is getting a TV series too,
Cool.
and he's training. Seems to have like a young prodigy. I forget who plays her, but looks
Don't know.
good so far.
Cool.
Looks very
Cool.
cool.
When's that sort of set? Like after Endgame? He survived, right?
When's that? Yeah, that'll be
He
that'll be
survived.
after Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Spider-Man real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, this is
okay,
exciting.
this is cool.
Do you wanna-
So, let me list off the all sort of like, are these confirmed, right? Let me explain.
Confirmed castings.
Confirmed castings they brought back from the original Spider-Man trilogy.
Yep.
They've got Doc Ock.
Yep.
They got the actor who plays Doc Ock.
So this is from Andrew. This is from Tobey Maguire's.
Tobey Maguire series.
Yeah.
And then they have from who's the other Spider-Man? The middle one.
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man 2. They got Electro, which is
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
He's coming
back.
back. Then we have is Venom in it? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Like the new one? I don't know. And then we've got I don't know if it's been confirmed, but both the old Spider-Man are in it, right? Tobey Maguire and
Yeah.
they're in it, right?
Yeah.
Officially?
I'm pretty sure it's
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it's
Like the
official.
rumors are going around, but like I've never seen like a confirmation, but I'm just not certain. But
So we have Jamie Foxx as Electro,
uh-huh.
Tom Holland as his Spider-Man,
Yep,
obviously.
of course.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
So
So he's
he's-
100% going to have something to do with it.
It's good. So his multiverse of madness is going to tie into this, I
For
think.
sure, yeah.
Andrew Garfield is
So he has.
So he's,
okay, cool.
he's Peter Parker / Spider-Man.
That's so sick.
We've
And
got
then Tobey Maguire?
Alfred Molina, who's
Doc Ock?
Doc Ock.
Yep.
Zenday's back,
Cool.
obviously. Kirsten Dunst,
Who's that?
or Kristen Dunst. No, Kirsten Dunst. She's Mary Jane Watson in Andrew Garfield's, in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
I was going to say, because I'm like, isn't she dead from Tobey the other one? Yeah, okay.
So-
Okay, cool,
So
cool.
Kirsten Dunst is back, like the Mary Jane.
I wonder what she... Okay, cool. Yeah, all right.
Well, I'm hoping
What?
that she might be
Oh, you think it's going to be like...
a female Spider-Man.
like from Multiverse, how there
Yeah.
was like
yeah,
Spider-Gwen.
yeah.
That's cool.
So she's gonna maybe play like a Spider Girl
Spider-Girl.
in.
Are they just going to copy Multiverse? Like,
It seems like it a little
seems
bit,
like a little bit.
but
But I'm not complaining because it's still going to be sick.
It doesn't say Tobey Maguire's here officially,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna guess that they're heading in that direction and they're trying to bring in. So the idea is that there's going to be multiple timelines that collide, or like multiple versions of the universe that collide. And
So
then-
obviously there's going to be multiple Spider-Men,
Yeah,
and
multiple
there's going to have
Spider-Man.
multiple Spider villains from different
Yeah.
sort of. And I'm pretty sure isn't from Homecoming
yeah,
the guy who plays is it Falcon? That's not Falcon. Sorry, the evil guy. What's the guy with the wings? I don't know what the character is.
oh,
That guy.
yeah,
Isn't he reprising his role as well? I'm pretty sure-
potentially,
I'm
because
pretty sure
he's still alive.
he's still alive. He's just in jail. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure he had
yeah.
like a thing where he's going to be reprising his role or something.
Maybe.
But I'm not sure.
So there's a very popular Spider-Man story called Sinister Six,
Yeah.
which is basically like
6
Yeah, you get
evil dudes.
6 evil dudes. So like Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin. It would be cool if they brought back the Green Goblin from the first Spider-Man.
Whatever that bloke is, yeah.
Um,
It was like Doc Ock, Green
Willem-
Goblin, Electro,
Rhino. If they want
Rhino,
to do that.
Scorpion,
Yeah.
and there's like one other as well.
But there's like a big roster that can fit within the 6. Like they can pick and choose which ones they want.
Sinister Six are like the original comics, but you can make up like some.
You can make up a team of 6.
Yeah. Well, if you ever played the Spider-Man game, that's what
that
story
is,
was
yeah.
line is, because there's like 6 of them in there.
Yeah. And so I think it's going to be like a team of Spider-Men versus a team of Sinister Six.
That's cool.
So it's like this weird inter-universal mashup of heroes, which would be so cool.
It's going to be awesome.
I wouldn't even be mad if they put in the Spider-Verse cartoon characters.
Well, as in like a Space Jam thing. We got characters.
Yeah, we get
like
cartoon characters in the real life.
That
You
would kill
reckon?
it. Yeah, 100%. I'd be taking it straight out. I want all 3 Spider-Man.
How do you hit them? They're 2D.
That's what I want. I want all 3 Spider-Man.
All 3 Spider-Man.
If Tobey Maguire's not in it, I feel like it will sort of kill it a little bit. Not that it'll still be great,
Yeah.
but I feel like you got to get Tobey in there as well. You know, he's the OG.
Yeah. So he could play like a kind of disgruntled old Spider-Man.
Yeah, he could play. Like from Multiverse.
Yeah, like an old dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to
Pause it?
A father figure, hey?
So yeah, Tobey Maguire, Daddy Tobey Maguire.
Daddy Tobey Maguire.
Not bad. I like it. I'm very excited.
Alright, which one's your favorite?
If you haven't been able to tell, I'm very into all of this, and I'm very excited.
You do love your Star Wars.
Apparently, someone figured it out. So across all of 2021, because WandaVision comes out in like, it's like January 7th or something.
Yeah.
Okay. But across every series and all the movies that are coming out in 2021, we will have a piece of new Marvel content every week, whether it be an episode of a ongoing TV series or a movie or anything. Every single week, something new to consume.
For nerds like you, bro, that'd be incredible.
I'm so excited.
I mean, some of the TV shows don't really interest me. I probably won't. Like WandaVision, I don't know. Like, unless it has
I'll fill you in.
Just fill me in. I probably
in.
won't watch it. I mean, like, I'm more of a Star Wars fan, and I only just recently caught up with Mandalorian, because I'm just a bit lazy when it comes to TV shows. But speaking of movies, I watched it.
What'd you watch?
I watched an awful movie.
What'd you watch?
Have you heard of Unbroken?
That's the one with Bruce Willis. No.
No, it's just a guy. It was like set in World War II. He's a prisoner. Ring a bell? It was sort
Unbroken.
of like, yeah.
Does he hold the beam above his head?
Yes, that one.
And is it during the Korean?
No, it was World War II. It was
Is it Japanese?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Oh fuck, it was bad.
You know I think that was Angelina Jolie's like directing debut.
Oh,
It was bad?
It was awful.
That movie won like Oscars and
Okay.
shit.
Let me explain it. All right.
Okay.
I'll spoil it for it. I don't care. So the opening, you explore the character. He was an Olympic runner.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Went to the Olympics in 1936, came like 4th or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. World War II, yada yada yada. He was flying a plane. It crash landed in the Pacific, and it was like 3 of them on a boat for ages. And that part of the movie was really good. Like, it was like
Right.
really well, set out. One of them like died. It was really traumatic. They were like, "Oh my god!"
Did they eat him?
No, they threw him away. It was like they drink water from like they full survived like for like 46 days. They drink water from the rain, and then they'd like a bird landed on the ship. I mean the boat, so they like killed it.
Yeah,
and then they
cool.
and they like used it to like get fish. They'd like fish and stuff.
Oh,
and they like
that's
eat it.
cool.
It was pretty good. Like I was like, this is cool. Then they get captured, and the whole thing is just awful. The dialogue's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's just like, just really, just poor. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, they was just saying like really cringy things. I'm like, normal people wouldn't say that.
Is it all about like we're going to get through this because we're American?
No, yeah, but it was a lot of.
I did running once, and so I can run pretty quick.
It wasn't that. It was like everything happened to this one character.
Yeah, it's just like
They didn't bully anyone else. At one scene they had like the evil guy was like, all right, everyone's gonna punch this guy in the face. Everyone here in the camp, everyone's gonna punch him in the face. It's like, what? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, right.
And he's just like, and then the guy, bro, like the most common scene was when the evil like commander dude was like, you and I are really similar. You know, you're tough, just like me. And it's like, oh, bro, this is awful.
Yeah, okay.
And then the final scene was so bad. So they're like,
is this the beam one? The famous
no.
beam
That was whatever. Oh yeah. So they're like, he's holding the beam, and he's like, if he drops it, shoot him.
Yeah.
So he's holding the beam, and then he like sort of shows some defiance by going, ah.
Mm.
And then they're like, whatever, we won't shoot you. It's just like, what?
I've seen it.
It's like, have you seen it?
I've seen that scene.
Yeah.
It always pops up on like YouTube recommendations.
And they're all like all the prisoners are like, come on, Louis, you can do it. And I'm like, how do you know this guy? No, like, how does everyone know his name?
You saying you don't know world famous Olympic runner Louis?
Who came fourth in the Olympics? Like what? He didn't even win anything.
I couldn't name one single Olympic sprinter.
I don't know.
That's Australian.
I just don't know. So then he goes. So in the final scene, they're like, look, like it was established earlier in the movie that they're like, even if Japan surrenders, there's like a kill all order where they're going to kill all the prisoners. So like,
right, okay.
So like, oh shit. And then like they're working really hard, like shit, you know, doing coal and stuff, and you know, it was whatever. And then they have them all like situated in front of like the commander, and he's like, oh, we invite you all to have a swim in this riverbed. And they're all like, and they're all like, yeah, shit, this is it, yeah. So they're walking in. There's like, you know, there's Japanese soldiers there with guns and shit, and you're like, this is all it.
Yeah.
And then they hear a plane, and they're like, what? There's a plane. American plane flies over. And they're like, yes, the war's over. Yeah. And they all start celebrating. And it's like, what? They can still shoot you.
Yeah.
What happened?
Okay.
Oh, there's a plane flew over, guys. Don't shoot them.
Yeah,
like, what?
right. So it's just a bit
And the
dumb.
plane how did it communicate to you guys that the war's over? I don't understand.
It could have just been an attack.
It was just like, oh, cool, war's over now, guys. You can't shoot me. A plane flew over. And it was just like, at that point, I was like, I can't watch this anymore. So I just turned it off. I was like,
it was that bad.
Oh, it was awful. Just like if they had the first half of the movie, cut it there, maybe they get rescued, decent movie.
Decent.
But then they just ruined it.
movie.
And then it was like, just poor dialogue where he's like in a shed and they're like, it's cool, man, you'll get through it. And he's like, my dad always said I could get through
Everyone keeps
it.
punching me in the face.
It was just awful. Like it was
Is
just
it inspired by a true story?
no idea. I mean, there was some interesting like aspects to it. They had like, because like he was presumed dead. So these Japanese media people were like, "Hey, come with us and like make an announcement to your family over our radio that you're alive."
Right.
And then he did. And then he got like food and stuff. They treated him really nicely, and they're like, "Hey, stay here, and we'll give you more food and stuff."
Yeah, okay.
And then he like looked over, and there was other American soldiers who were sort of like, I guess, betraying their country, and they were just sort of like chilling there, eating food. They're not in a camp or anything. And he's like, "Nah, I'm not doing that. Going back to the base, going back to camp." And he gets punched in the face 20 times, and he isn't dead. Not 20, it was like 200.
That's a lot of punches.
That's a lot of punches.
Even soft punches. 200 soft punches.
Yeah, so like,
kill a man.
He gets punched in the face a few times, and then it's just like, there's like a slow cut, and it's like nighttime, and there's like 2 people left, and he's like being held up by soldiers, and it's like, this dude's dead. Like, you're dead.
Yeah.
You get punched in the face 200 times, you're dead.
Nah.
I don't know, man. I just don't get it.
Did they like really mess up his face with the makeup? Like, did they like?
I mean, he had like a red face, and then there was like a scene where someone comes and wakes him up, and they're like whipping him across the face, and it's like, okay, what happened? What happened? And then the commander's like, why do you make me hit you? Whack. And then it cuts, and that's it.
I was sleeping.
But like, it was really good up until then. Like when they first got captured, he was like being held prisoner in like this box or whatever.
Right.
And then it was him and his other mate, and then he got pulled out, and they're like, you know, tell us where the B-17 bomber that you fly, where's its like bombing, I don't know, like something about it, right? Like draw it here.
Yeah.
So he drew it, and they're like, okay, cool. And then as he was walking back, his mate was coming out, and he like whispered to him, he's like, I drew a such and such. So then they're like matching it up.
I drew a B-14 bomber.
Yeah, it was just like, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then they pulled him out, and then they like got him to strip naked, and like one of them had like a Japanese soldier had a sword, and you're like, oh shit, they're gonna fucking
Yeah.
die, and then they just started washing them with water. It was like a little bit of what is that?
Misdirection.
Misdirection. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Then it just went downhill from there. It was, yeah,
okay.
shit movie. Don't watch it, bro.
I don't know. I think the thing that makes a good movie is everything has to feel earned.
Yeah,
It's like if he's copping a beating,
but like,
then it should be like, as a viewer, even though you're against the beating or like you're against this character getting hurt, you should still be like, he broke rules.
Yeah.
So it feels deserved, even though
well,
it's harsh.
it's a war camp, so
Everything's-
sometimes these things
everything's
probably
deserved.
happened.
Yeah.
But it's like it doesn't happen to anybody else.
Yeah, it's
You
weird.
didn't
It's like
see
he's
it.
targeted
Yeah.
because he's famous, probably.
Yeah, I think they say it. They're like, "Oh, you're a famous runner," and they got him to run, and he lost the race, and they're like, "You're not a runner, you bastard. Prove it to us."
The
But
standards
then it's like
for being famous back then.
it
were
starts
not
straight away.
different.
Like it's like they have them all lined up when they first got to the prisoner camp, and then like the dude's literally just like in a line, like not looking, and then he like sort of looked at the commander dude as he's walking past. And he's like, "Why'd you look at me in the face?" And it's like, well, is
Yeah.
no one else looking at him in the face? There's like
Yeah.
100 other dudes here. Did anyone else get punched in the face 200 times? Nah, just the main character, you know,
It might have
because
been.
he's got a lot of heart.
It might have been on purpose to kind of portray how bad the Japanese were during World War II.
Yeah, but you should have done it to a lot of other people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They probably
true.
didn't just do it to one dude, you know?
All
I mean, they were really
all
bad,
All I've
but-
learned is that the Japanese
Were mean to one
were mean
guy.
to one guy.
Just one dude. And it was just, it just wasn't.
Sounds awful.
It wasn't a good movie.
Sometimes I'll be watching a movie and I'm like,
You know when you're just
this is
watching it?
bad.
You know when
But
you're watching it and then like they say something and you're like, you literally make the facial expression like what? Like what? No normal person says that.
Nah.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh
Yeah.
man. I was really good up until then. What happened?
What are some good war movies that you like?
Saving Private Ryan.
Okay, apart from that, because that's everyone's favorite answer. I haven't seen Fury. And
Fury's
I need,
decent.
I need to see Fury.
Fury is actually pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay. I
Um,
haven't seen many war movies, to be honest.
I've seen a few. What else is there? I've seen a few of the Vietnam ones. There's one that was like, I think it's Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
That's a really good
Vietnam
one.
War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vietnam War. Few were I haven't seen. Tell you what I haven't seen yet. 1917. Still haven't seen it.
The one shot.
The one shot
It's
movie.
like the one shot, yeah.
I feel like if that one shot, like
One camera shot, not bullets.
I feel like it's like a bit of a gimmick. I feel like it'll sort of annoy
It'll
the
get old.
story, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I really want to watch it.
Well, something being one shot just kind of makes it sound a bit like
I don't know. I feel like
I don't
it's.
know.
I feel like they're like, all right,
like
cool.
it's a movie set over as long as it takes to do the shot.
Yeah.
So it's like an hour and 2 hours maybe. So
Yeah.
it's a literal like 2 hour time period.
Mm.
How interesting can 2 hour time period
Yeah,
be?
I feel like
Must
I
be
feel
a
like
pretty
there's
intense
things-
2 hours, but I
There's-
haven't seen it though, so I can't really say.
I feel like there will be things that a director's like, oh, we won't include these because this is boring. But it's like, no, it's got to be one shot, so we have to include it. It's
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
you know, damn, can we just like skip along, make it a bit more interesting? I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, so maybe they've avoided that, but I'm not sure.
I'm
But
not sure either.
yeah, don't watch Unbroken, man.
No.
Shit movie.
It's pretty. It takes a lot. I've only done it a handful of times where like I'll leave a movie or like I'll stop watching a movie just because it's terrible. But
You ever watched
I'm trying to remember the last one I did it. TV shows I do it a lot. I'll just stop if it starts
I
getting
get
if it starts
super-
getting boring. I just stop.
I get that's what happened with The Mandalorian for me. I watched up until like season 1, episode 6, and like I said, because they always repeat that sort of thing.
That arc.
And I was like, oh man, this is so
Nah,
boring.
I
Like,
do
I'm
get
just
it.
really over it.
Look, I'm not sitting here saying Mandalorian is the best piece of TV to ever come
No,
out.
no, but it's very well made.
The thing I find that as a Star Wars, see, this is the thing. The same thing with Marvel too. And this will be a good test. Is that it'll really break up people into like hardcore Marvel fans and people that aren't so much Marvel
casual.
fans. I don't consider myself the biggest Star Wars fan, but I am a fan of like the world and the
Yeah, it's a
people
very
within it.
well.
I think it's very like it's so vast.
It's
And so unexplored because all we've ever really focused on is like one family and how they're fucked up everything, right? So you have all these like little stories and things that you don't even consider existing.
It builds up the world so
Yeah,
much because
yeah.
it's like exploring so many things that you just didn't
Yeah.
realize, like different groups and then like even in the series, spoiler, the guy, like the Mandalorian's never heard of the Jedi because he's like, who the hell are the Jedi?
Yeah, who are
and
the
it's
Jedi?
like that makes sense because like not everyone's
Yeah.
involved
Yeah.
in this war. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It's
there's a
like,
lot of people
that makes sense because
are
there's probably people that are like, what the hell's a Jedi? I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
They've probably never seen one before. They probably don't even care.
They're kind of like mythic. Like,
Yeah.
they're not, people aren't even really sure they exist.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, they're just, yeah, it's
They
just
just
kind of,
exist.
they're kind of like a small species.
And it's interesting because the Mandalorian, he's from Mandalore, like it's explored a bit.
Yeah.
And that's like,
which is a planet.
it's a planet, and it's explored a bit in the Clone Wars as well, like the TV show,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. But even still, like you were saying, almost every single Star Wars media we've got, TV show, everything, always got to do with the Jedi,
Yep.
maybe the Death Star. There's always something with the overall,
Yeah.
but it's never really been something just a bit low key. That's a bit like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, here's this dude just going around shooting people, collecting bounties.
Yeah.
And like Baby Yoda's obviously a big thing, but it's like
And
it hasn't got nothing to do with the movies.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
I'd say like Baby Yoda's overall story arc only pops up every 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Like something got
And that
to do
can be a
with
good or a
him
bad
as found
thing,
as
but-
new.
Yeah.
But like in between, you kind of like, he's like, you know, going to try find something and you run into like a bunch of people that do their own thing within the world. And you're like, this is such world building. Like
Yeah.
I'm enjoying seeing more of
The
this Star Wars universe. Which
without
is-
seeing Darth Vader.
But if
or-
you're not interested in that, I think it would be a pretty boring show.
Yeah.
That's what carries me through even the bad episodes kind of thing. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
And it'll be the same thing with Marvel. Like it'll really break up people because it's hard. It's also a matter of like how are the TV shows going to be standalone? Are they going to affect the greater universe and world?
Oh, they're just going to be their own little thing?
Because if you get into a movie, say like you're not a huge Marvel person and you get to a movie that's come out and you're like, I am lost because so much has happened between this and the last movie that I've meant to had a Disney Plus subscription for. Like,
Yeah.
how are they going to do it?
I think...
So
I definitely think Marvel, up until this point, have done a really good job in being able to explain what's happened in previous movies if you haven't seen them.
yeah,
Like, I feel like I've watched all of them, so I can't tell.
yeah,
But if you hadn't watched a few of them, maybe didn't really know, and you watched like Infinity War,
yeah.
you'd be mostly up until it's like, all right, he's a bad guy, he wants these stones, okay, cool. And it's like you don't really need to know all the details.
You don't need to know details.
But if you were that hardcore fan, there's always those little details. You're like, oh yeah, that's from the TV show. I remember that. And
It's,
it's like,
more enjoyable.
it is
'cause
a little bit
you are
enjoyable,
like-
yeah.
See, I've spoken, I think, to one person I know that watched Infinity War and Endgame, just because they're like the big movies at the end. They're the
you want to
Avengers
see how
movies,
it's like, yeah.
And I was like, did you understand what was happening? And they're like, yes, but also no. It's like, I got the gist.
Yeah.
I got it enough to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I didn't, like, I'm not a huge, I don't know what's happening in between on all these other movies.
Yeah.
But I got the gist of it, and that was
Yeah.
enough for me to enjoy
That's
it.
where I think Star Wars sort of fails a bit. I definitely think if you watched, like, say, The Last Jedi out of context, you'd just be like, I don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Although those 3 movies that came out, like the sequel trilogy,
Yeah.
you could definitely tell that they had no idea where they were sort of
The
heading.
direction.
They had no
Just
idea. Like, they had no plans for that third movie.
fathoms me
They
how
were
that
just
even
sort of like,
happens.
what's super, like, it's weird because it's like, first one came out, they played it super safe. It was just like,
It's
cool, classic Star Wars story, big evil
it's basically
base
episode 4 again with new characters.
with some, like, new characters.
Yeah.
And, like, they sort of had to do that. They had to play it a bit safe, you know,
Yeah.
get Star Wars going.
Yeah.
Then the next one came out where everyone sort of loved or hated it because it's like,
They
it was
tried
very
to-
different. It was just different.
They did try to change it up, it seemed. But
There were a
it's
few
like,
things that were
yeah.
annoying, but like, see, the thing is with that movie, it grew a little bit on me because it's like, oh, you know what? I'm kind of glad that they sort of took it a bit different.
Different.
And it's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But what annoyed me the most is when that last movie came out and they pretty much just erased everything from that previous movie.
Yeah.
They were just like,
They undid
oh, yeah,
everything.
don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that character? Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't care about her either. She's
Yeah.
gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, if they just tried to shoehorn something in there that sort of made it work. Like how Rey was
Yeah.
a Palpatine. Like, what?
Yeah.
That just made no sense.
I loved the idea the whole time that she was just a nobody. And in the same way that Anakin just happened to be a nobody that was born
the same way
super
Kenobi
powerful.
never came from anyone.
Yeah, it's like, why can't
Yeah.
anyone be just a nobody?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like She's a
fucking
nobody.
everything up
Doesn't
with
matter.
this-
Explore it. It's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
She's a
don't
nobody.
get it.
Let's explore
Yeah.
it. Maybe make it a bit more positive. But instead, they're like, oh, never mind, guys.
Yeah.
She's not a nobody.
And just
She's
say that, like, just explain. This might be getting too into detail, but Palpatine, how he was like a clone.
Yeah.
He was trying to clone himself, and so when he died, he was able to like come back as a clone or something. I don't exactly know.
So they said that Snoke was a Palpatine puppet or something.
Yeah.
And like,
I don't
I don't
yeah,
know.
whatever.
I don't know, man.
But
I don't
it's
know.
like just say that Palpatine survived in the 6th movie in Return of the Jedi, and just say he survived. But you know the thing about people not being able to, you know, in the 3rd movie they talk about being able to like save others but not yourself using the Force,
Yeah.
and so it like lead, and you know it's ironic or whatever.
Mm.
Just say that like he figured out a way to save himself, but it fucked him up. Like it messed him up so badly
I don't know.
that that's his result. Like just you don't have to make clones. Why is there clones?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a while, to be honest.
Anyways, this has
But
been very like pop culture.
This is literally just
nerd
like
heavy episode.
super nerd heavy, but it's interesting.
Should we talk about something else? The other day I was driving.
That's nice.
Someone tried to give way to me when they had the right of way.
Oh, those dickheads. See, it comes down to the basic rule of driving.
I understand that you're being nice.
The basic rule of driving is be
Obey-
predictable.
Obey the rules.
Just be predictable.
Yep.
If you have the right of way, you take the right of way. Don't be a nice person.
No.
You be a nice person, you ruin it for everyone, and you
Yep.
get in a car crash.
Yep.
It's like, have you ever gone to cross the road and it's not a pedestrian crossing, so you don't have the right of way as a pedestrian, but that person sort of stops.
Yep.
And they have tinted windows and they're like waving to you and you don't know what they're
Can't
doing.
tell.
And you're like, okay, I don't want to cause a traffic jam here, but okay. And it's just really
There's
awkward.
people behind them now backed up into an intersection because they're waiting for you to cross. I'm like, I am not at a crossing.
I'm
you
not
have the
asking.
right of way.
You have the right of way.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm a bad person now.
Just irks
Thanks.
me. Yeah.
Nah, definitely.
It's just like, because then the people in the car behind them are like, why is that guy crossing here?
Yeah.
You know?
I've been in that situation. You've been behind a car and they stop for a pedestrian to cross. And you're like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Go. Like,
Yeah.
fuck this pedestrian. Maybe because I'm
Ooh.
impatient, but it's just
No.
like, it's just be predictable on the road. It's how hard it is.
Be predictable.
Be predictable.
You're
I'm
only
pretty sure we talked about this
inconveniencing
before.
yourself.
I tell you what, I want to rant about work.
Okay.
So I work at a grocery store. So this is what happened today. This is fucking so dumb. Normally shit happens at work. I'd forget about because I don't really care.
Yeah.
This one thing annoyed the shit out of me. I don't know why, but it was just so dumb. So I was
This is kind of rare. I don't see you like just get.
I rarely care about
unneededly
what
irked.
customers do to me because I don't give a shit. But this one thing, I was just like, "Are you serious? Why?" I was like, "Okay." I was filling up some ice cream, right? I was
Yep.
like doing my thing, and this lady come like reaching across from me. It happens all the time. They sort of like, they're like, "Oh, sorry," and they like get in the way, and you're like, "Whatever." Like, I don't care. Like, do you think?
Yeah.
I'm filling up, and she's like looking at like these packet of drumsticks. No, and she didn't put it back where it was. She literally picked it out of where it was, and just put it somewhere else, and just walked away. And I was like, "Are you serious? You're right in front of it,
Did you
and
say
I'm
something?
right here."
Did you say something to her?
Before I noticed, she was gone, and I'm like, "Oh." I was like, finally up, I was like, "Are you gonna put that back where it was?"
Yeah.
I was like, I was literally right in front of her too. It's not like I walked away. I was like, and I turned back, and I was like, "Isn't that the And then she was walking away, and I was like,
Yeah.
So you see
What a
it
pain.
happen all the time. Like boxes moved everywhere because they're too lazy to put it back. But I literally saw it with my own two eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Right in front of you too.
and it's not like she walked away with it and then decided not to want it and put it back somewhere else. It was 30 centimeters away.
Yeah.
You just dumped it. And I'm just like, why? Are you really that lazy? Seriously?
Sometimes I find myself doing the opposite at stores. I'll get to a section and it's
You
real
grab
messy.
a box that isn't meant to be there and you run and put it back.
No, but I'll get to like say the taco seasoning section and like they're all mixed up.
You just start
And
putting
you
it back.
start reading the labels and you're like, this one goes over here.
This
What are
one
you
goes
doing?
over there.
And
Come on.
this one,
Oh, what's
you
this
know,
little
you
guy
start
doing
fixing-
here? Goes over there.
Start fixing it up.
I've never done that.
Have you ever found yourself have you ever called someone out in a similar position?
I haven't called anyone
Often-
out, but when someone's been rude, like if you say, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" and they don't reply, you're like, "Oh, that's good." Like I've done that
you do
before.
that out
So like
loud?
I've had a shit day, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood for
Yeah.
bullshit. But
I'll do that.
I haven't called anyone out like in terms of like leaving shit around, because I rarely see it because it always sort of happens behind their backs. They sort of look around. But this has happened right in front of my face, and I missed out on the opportunity.
Ooh.
Have you had it? Anything?
I think maybe once when I was working, I was like I kind of did it in a way that I was trying to like shame them a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You ride that fine line.
Yeah,
Because if
like,
they get offended,
I
you're
was-
like, oh, I was just joking.
I was talking to them and they were like, I was trying to help them. They were a customer and I giving them a few different products to try and whatever. And he just like, when he was done looking at it, he just chucked it anywhere on the shelf that was right in front of him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that doesn't go there. And I like made a point of grabbing it out of the spot that he put it and putting it back where it did go.
Dickhead. Yeah.
And like he grabbed it off the spot first.
Yeah.
Like I didn't grab that for him. So he, you know, if he gave it back to me, then fine.
Yeah.
But he just like chucked it there and he's like, oh, sorry. Like he was
Yeah,
just
it's
kinda
okay
like
to be like, oh, can I give this back to you?
very quickly backtrack.
Because you know exactly what it is. It's quicker. But it's just like, yeah, have you
But
ever?
he so blatantly just like chucked it wherever. And I know it wasn't with the intention of like putting it back later. Like you could tell.
He just chucked it. He was just like, yeah, whatever.
Sometimes I'll say things under my breath a little bit loud to like hopefully people listen.
Yeah.
When people stop in front of me in a work way, I like to
The
just
worst-
go, that's
oh.
a weird I just go, that's a weird place to stop.
Yeah.
Just
I've had
trying
that so many
Trying
times.
to keep walking in the hope
The worst
that
is
they
when
hear
you're
me.
about to put something in a particular spot and someone's just stood there and you're like, oh, fuck. I had a dude the other day just emphasize short man syndrome, just super angry.
Yeah.
He was looking for like some frozen berries or something. And I knew we were really struggling because we didn't have a lot. I remember I've been in the freezer. I know we don't have it. He's like, hey, have you got any of these? And I'm like, oh, no, we don't. Like, we don't.
No.
Any at the back? And I'm like,
Look how big this store is, mate.
I'm like,
do you think we have a
I'm
back?
like, no, I've already looked. He's like, can you go look for me? And I was like, if he goes to talk to my manager, I'm like, all right, fine. I'll go have a look. Didn't look because I'm crazy, man. And then it's like, oh, look, exactly what I said. It's not there.
Yeah.
It's like they want you to go look like it's magically going to appear. I know what's out there. It's not out
Just
there.
trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this lady today's like, oh, do you have any turkeys out the back? Frozen turkeys? And I'm like, are you kidding me? No. We have them there. It's all here. Like it's half empty. What, you think we just leave it that way?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, like, do you have any of these? I'm like, no. Like, this is all we have. It's just like, oh, it's
We
so
don't
bad.
have turkeys.
Do you find I feel like this is like controversial, but if someone's on the phone while you're serving them, do you think that's rude?
Yeah.
Because
I think
my
it- I
mum
think
always
it-
said, like,
I
if
think
you
it is
never answer
rude.
the phone, like, it's rude.
It is rude.
It is rude.
It is rude.
I definitely think it's rude too. But I feel like there's some people that are like, oh, sorry, I didn't think it was rude. You know what I mean?
I worked at a store. I used to work at Bunnings. They're a hardware store that it's just like people are always on the phone.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You
It's a
get-
hardware
it's
place.
Tradies, like everything.
Talking to the
And-
boss.
And often you just like, unless they like flat out ignore you, like if they seem to be making an effort to maintain at least
Yeah,
both,
you're like, oh, thanks for
both
that. Yeah.
forms,
Yeah.
like, you know, like saying thank you or like just saying like just on card, like
Yeah,
signaling to me that the card,
Yeah, yeah.
they'll pay card or something like that. Then I don't mind because I understand that people are busy. But when you come out and you just like flat out ignore me and like dump your shit there and
Yeah.
like whatever, I'll speak out loud in front of their conversation to like interrupt them.
I'm having a great day, mate.
Because, you know, like at least be aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you're going to be rude, be aware that you're being rude and
Yeah.
kind of
Just like, oh, I'm really sorry.
seem apologetic about your actions. But
Yeah.
some people just don't care.
Yeah, people don't care.
Nah.
Yeah, no. I've never really had the chance of me. I never usually go to man checkouts. Like, I always just use self checkouts. But my mum was always like, don't answer the phone like way
Yeah.
you serve. It's just really rude. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I won't.
Yeah.
And then now whenever
Okay.
someone does it to me, I'm
Okay,
like,
mum.
that's fucking rude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's one of those things where people don't realize. They're like, oh, I don't have
Yeah.
intention of like
Yeah.
being rude. It's like, nah, bro.
I
It's
think
rude.
people just.
A lot of
It's
people
just a
don't
matter
realize.
it's just a matter of how you were raised.
Yeah,
if you were
yeah.
raised to think it's rude, then you would think it's rude.
Then you think it's
but
rude,
if you
but if you
weren't
don't,
raised to
then you
think it's
don't.
rude, then
Yeah,
you're,
it's just
you're
one
not
of
going to
those
think it's
things.
rude.
Yeah.
You know, one of our
I don't.
friends, I'm hosting New Year's.
Oh, you
little
are?
New Year's gather.
Cool.
Should I put that out there? In
What,
case
they-
someone
oh,
hears this
yeah, maybe
that
you
doesn't-
shouldn't. Unless someone listens and they weren't invited, they're like, oh, cool.
Just a small thing.
Yeah, what about it?
But Sarah, the one that we
Oh,
always...
the one that we hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say the one that we always fuck, but that doesn't sound right.
That's why I said the one that we hate. Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarah. Nah, I'm not sorry. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck you, Sarah.
She said that she's gonna tell my mum about us saying "fuck you, Sarah."
Your mum's not going to be there.
Yeah.
Oh no, she will be.
She will be.
Oh.
Because my house,
I thought they'd be down the
her
coast.
place. Nah,
Yeah, fair enough.
it's booked out for the weekend.
Oh, it's put out for the weekend. Is it?
Oh, for like every day.
Yeah,
until-
yeah.
Anyways,
It's that's time.
it's that time of year.
It's that time of year.
People
Yeah.
are going away.
People are going away.
Do you know?
You going away?
I am Thursday.
What?
Yeah.
Where to?
Come back Saturday. Honestly, I couldn't tell you the name of the area.
Who you going with? The GF?
The GF.
Just you two?
Good old Lynn.
Good old Lean.
Just the two of us. Yeah.
Sick.
She recently bought a stand-up paddleboard, so we're going to give that take that on a little
Stand-up
spin.
paddleboards are so much fun.
I'm already picturing it in my head. All right. I'm sitting on the front. She's standing up paddling. Okay.
Why are you sitting?
In front of me.
Why are you paddling?
Nah, it's her paddleboard. In
Nah,
front of me,
you're paddling.
I'm
bitch.
gonna have my legs in the water,
and a beer in
a little
there.
a beer sitting there, and a little cheese and bicky platter. Just having a
All right,
ride.
now we're getting a bit advanced.
Nah.
If you fall over, that cheese and bicky platters are gone, man.
Well, luckily,
Where you, is it a beach? Like, are you going to
Central Coast, so north.
yeah, and there's beaches, right?
There's like a beach, and it's near like an inlet lake type of thing.
Yeah, because you can do both. I've stand up paddleboard, but like it's really not that hard because stand up paddleboards
they're pretty stable.
they're big and wide, so they're
Yeah.
super easy to get up on.
Yeah.
The only thing is if you're at the beach, you have to get out behind the waves.
Yeah.
And if you time it right, that's super easy to do. But if you don't, your board's just gonna go flying.
Yeah.
But on a lake, that's just even easier.
Yeah.
You just stand up on it, and it's super easy to balance, like I said, because it's just
Yeah.
super wide.
But I couldn't even tell you where we're going
Yeah.
because we booked it. We like just.
Well, you're hopeless when it comes to
Well,
organization.
yeah, but
we know that.
we sat there booking it together. Lyndall's the same. She can't even tell you where we're going.
Just an Airbnb.
Because we just went on like Stays or Booking.com.
Because when people go,
and everything was booked out, so we just picked the best place for
Yeah,
the time.
this time.
For the time we could get away, we just picked like what looked like the best place we could get for a reasonable price.
this Thursday, is it?
This Thursday.
Oh wow!
So cutting
Yeah,
it
this
close.
is like literally you cutting it very close.
Cutting it close.
Yeah, this is like
And so we're doing Thursday because the weekend's just booked.
yeah, weekday to finish on it. So is it Saturday night? Come back Sunday.
Saturday night. No, we come back Saturday night.
Oh, you come back Saturday night.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we stay there for Thursday night. We clock in at like 10 a.m. Thursday.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So 10 a.m. Thursday.
Yeah, so Thursday night, like I'm counting nights. Thursday night, Friday
Friday
night,
night. Leave Saturday night.
leave Saturday night. It's a cute little getaway.
Yeah, just a little something.
It's just a little
I
something.
couldn't tell you where it is because we just booked it and didn't
When
really-
people say
didn't
I'm
really
going
worry
away,
about where.
when people say I'm going away to Central Coast, it could be many
It's
places.
like 3 hours from the, top of the Central Coast to the bottom of the Central
It's like
Coast.
Central Coast is either an hour drive, 3 hour drive. It's just a big gap. I'd say
Could be
Central
just
Coast
out
is
of
like
Sydney.
it's like from here to like Newcastle.
Yeah.
That whole gap
Yeah.
is just Central Coast.
So it's not too far away.
Oh,
it's,
Central Coast is barely anything.
it's this side of Newcastle.
What time are you leaving? Like
Probably early.
because
We're going to try to get through Sydney before
which way are you
peak
going
hour.
to go though? I'm an expert at the old getting around Sydney.
Oh, is that because you go to Foster?
Yeah, so we go M5 and you pretty much go around Sydney. So you go M5
M5 out.
and then you go
M7.
M7 up all the way around Sydney, and then at the very top there's a brand new roadway that they've just finished.
Right.
So basically once you get off the M7, once you're like North Sydney,
yeah.
that drive from like I think no matter which way you go, you have to take that road. I think it's
Yeah.
like Pennant Hills, I think. I don't
Okay,
know.
right.
That road just sucks. It's like 2 lanes, heaps of like... If you go really early, it's not bad. But when we come back from Foster, it's usually like 3 in the afternoon and it sucks. But they just made like a brand new road that just goes straight through it.
Right.
And it's super quick.
Yeah, okay.
So you'll
Cool.
get through it super easily. That's why it makes Central Coast even easier to get
Because
to.
I probably would have gone through Sydney.
Look, it's up to you. We've done it multiple times. It depends what you want. They're usually about the same time, but I usually if
Depends
it's an
what you
hour
like.
drive, I'd rather drive rather than
Fast for an hour.
fast stop rather than just
Yeah.
be in traffic.
That makes sense.
But it depends. What is it? Thursday? You might get away if you leave early enough. But if you're leaving at like 8, don't go through the city. But if you're leaving at like 4, that's maybe too early.
Yeah, maybe.
What time is it checking? Like 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Up to you guys though. You got all the day. Who cares? You don't have to get up there at any time you want. You know, plenty of time. Just a little 1 bedroom place.
Yeah, it's 1 bedroom.
Yeah,
like,
nice.
A little kitchen there too.
Nice.
Kitchenette, maybe. A small
Cute.
kitchen.
Is there any place you can like get food, even though you don't know where you're going?
Like, there's,
Okay.
there's a town and
Yeah, okay, cool.
there's a bit of
There's an
infrastructure.
infrastructure. Good. I'm glad.
Don't forget about the infrastructure.
Oh, that's important.
There's probably a pub. We might go out for
There's
a
no
little
no roads,
dinner.
but no infrastructure.
Go
Bro.
take up some alcohol, make a few cocktails. Oh, it's
Is
gonna
that
be
allowed?
lovely.
Is that allowed?
I am only 18. I mean,
Oh,
17.
actually, I'm gonna call my workmate. This is funny. There's this guy I work with, funny dude.
Yep.
He's like, I know of him, and he just started on my work, and we we're chatting, and he's like, oh man, I'm so hungover. I'm so hungover. I'm like, oh yeah, classic, bro, classic. He's like, yeah. And then we we're like working, doing our stuff, and then I was using a pallet jack. I was like, oh, do you want to teach you how to use this? Like, he's like, nah, haven't you got to be 18 to use it? I'm like, didn't you say you were hungover before? And he goes, shh. And I'm like, okay. He's like, shut up. And I'm like, gotcha. Anyways, yeah, that was funny. You want to wrap it up?
Yep.
The Marvel Disney episode.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to make a little outro?
Little outro music. You ready?
That wasn't very loud. You want to do that again?
Thank you for listening to the Young Crabs podcast. My name's been Michael.
My name's been Sean.
I don't think we introduced ourselves this episode.
No, we just sort of jumped
We just
into
jumped
it.
straight
Just
into it.
freeballing.
Mate, we're loose as.
We are loose ass on this show. Tell you what.
Thank you for listening to the Young Crabs podcast. My name's been Michael.
My name's been Sean.
Our Instagram is at the Young Crabs podcast. No underscores, no spaces, no dots. Your Instagram, Sean, is
At Sean_Wool99.
we're on a roll.
I almost said the Sean. Oopsies.
Mine is at MOB_Y_Dick. That's Moby Dick.
Perfect.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Young Crabs podcast.
Bye.
Bye. Fuck Sarah.